I think the price of college has gone up so much, even the past 20 years. It's crazy how much it costs now just for like a basic education.
Biden administration canceled 39 billion of student loans for almost 1 million borrowers.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's, that's a drop in the bucket of all the student loans that are out there. I have mixed feelings about student loan cancellation. I do feel that higher education costs are completely unreasonable.
Yes.
However, I also feel that the government and the taxpayer, the blue-collar worker who didn't go to college, shouldn't have to bear the burden of the people that did make those decisions. So I'm torn on it. I get it, but I don't see how that's showing anybody responsibility. This is just another one of those fringe benefits that I feel is, kind of a violation of ethics.
Well, I mean, the Supreme Court just
I don't like the politicization of them either, though. I don't.
Yeah, of course.
So.
But not even talking politics. I think the argument for this is that, hey, we bail out companies, we bail out industries, we bail out. This is not even a bailout. It's a kind of investment in society, just like any other entitlement.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, is it is an entitlement, and if you really want to get to the root problem, you need to go directly to the universities and figure out what does the unit cost? Like, what is the actual production of somebody that graduated from these different universities? And if it's the same, if you're getting the same work, and I think you're going to see a lot with the propagation of these large language models, but if you're 5 times as efficient using the tools that we now have in our arsenal, like, is a $200,000 a year degree really worth it? I don't know.
I mean, it's got to be more affordable. This is obviously, the timing of it is just, obviously you do this before an election cycle. It is not addressing the root cause. So I agree with you there. I mean, because I think college, like, I see value in college, but the cost of it, I would say, if you want to be in multiple, like in the industry I'm in, you just move to a city maybe to get that experience you would get in a college for not paying for it. But I think for a lot of Americans, going to college is when they meet people with different viewpoints, when they grow a lot, and people we need that. Like, we should not encourage people not to go to college because college is stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look, I mean, the whole idea of higher education is that you should be learning something, right? And if you're learning something about Taylor Swift as an elective, like, what's the point of that, right? I don't know. I think we need to really start focusing on what these electives are kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't think that I'd want to pay $70,000 for my kids to take some of these different electives.
Yeah, 100%. Like, all my friends freshman year, some of them are taking a class called dance theory, which, like, you just learn about dance, but you're paying $2,000 for it. And then I'm taking the class I literally have to take, or they won't let me move on, is astronomy. And that's, like, another $2,000. So it's also, like, there definitely needs to be a change in, like, all this they call it gen ed. It's just all the gen eds that are just, like, classes you don't need that they make you take just to fill out, like, how much money you're paying for it. I also agree with you on the connection part. My friend goes to Harvard, and the story he tells me of all the people he knows and, like, meets there is actually, like, it's like a different world. It's crazy. So that's, like, definitely, with some universities like that, it's definitely, like, just on the connections alone, like, you're set up pretty well. But connections is definitely a big part of college still. But I definitely agree with, like, I think the price of college has gone up so much, even the past 20 years. It's crazy how much it costs now just for, like, a basic education.
Yeah, I think this conversation, it's all about the cost of it, because we wouldn't have this. A liberal arts education like the Western model of liberal arts education has general ed for a reason. I think people should have to take astronomy, have to take dance theory, but not pay that much for it because it exposes them to the amount of philosophical growth you get from taking class like astronomy, or the amount of sociological, cultural growth you would get. I've learned so much about myself, or about people who are not like me, or about the universe through all those classes you just mentioned. But then you put that price tag on it and it seems stupid. I think people should be able to take Taylor Swift class. That's what college is for. The degree is the degree. I think, like, in my opinion, if you're trying to do a trade, you learn that trade, or if you're trying to be a doctor, engineer, lawyer. But if you're getting a degree,
I agree with you when it comes to, you know, a general education I think is going to be more important than ever, because, like, you know, as we heard yesterday, as we talked about yesterday, learning how to think is so important moving forward. You're going to need to know a little, but you could find out a lot based on some of this technology that we have. But learning how to actually think and learning how to do that research and figure out that technology and that information is critical. And that does require, you know, for the vast majority of people, a good general education. I agree with you there. I still think that the costs are prohibitive. And let's talk about the real issue, which is like what it's actually going to do. Like, how many people come on board, what, in September? Is it in September? So if you look up online there, how many people still have to now start paying their bills? Do they know where to send it? How long has it been, right? Do you know where to send it? Do you know how much you owe? Obviously going online and figuring that out, but there's a lot of lazy people out there that are not going to do that, and their credit scores are going to suffer because of it. And it's a lot,
37
million of money. When people start paying that back, that's like a car payment, right? So what's going to suffer for that? They're not going to be spending anymore. And that's when you can see this recession really start to take hold, because that's a lot of money. 37 million student loan borrowers. That's not, they owe 37 million. That's 37 million borrowers.
Yeah.
Right?
The average, I forget the average, but it's high.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching The Merge. We've got a ton more stuff for you to watch on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere. Check us out.